All right, welcome to the deep dive. Today we are diving into something pretty interesting.
Definitely.
It's all starting with the word vouchsafe.
Vouchsafe, huh? Interesting word.
Yeah, so it means like like to give something as a promise or like a special privilege to someone.
Oh,
And
wow.
thinking about that really got me thinking about the idea of like secret kindness.
Secret kindness,
Yeah,
like doing nice things for people without them knowing.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually shared something about this with us, about secret kindness. And we also got a quote from Tony Hawk that was really interesting. And
It really gets you thinking about what motivates us, right?
yeah, it does. So our mission today, I guess, is to like dive into why someone might, do something kind without wanting recognition.
Like, what's in it for them?
Exactly. And then maybe see if there's like a bigger philosophy there, like
Yeah.
what if the reward is like just doing the good thing itself?
Right? Like the act of doing good is the reward itself that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't we start with your story about cleaning up that mess anonymously? Like, what made you do that?
Yeah, so this is interesting because, thinking back to the word vouchsafe, uh, you kind of took it upon yourself to like make things better for everyone, on your floor. Like you were giving them a better environment without expecting anything back.
Right.
So, the motivation wasn't like getting a pat on the back or anything. It was more like you just wanted to make things right.
Yeah, I just saw something that needed to be done and I did it.
Exactly. You contributed in this like quiet little way.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, maybe doing these acts of secret kindness is like a privilege we give to the world, like a silent promise to make our community a little bit better.
Oh, that's a really cool way to look at it. It wasn't even about getting a thank you. It was just about doing the right thing.
That's it. And, you mentioned something earlier about how external rewards aren't always the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like there's something deeper there.
Yeah, can you expand on that a bit? Like, why do you think that idea resonates here?
Well, it kind of suggests that we're not always motivated by what we can get.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about expressing a part of ourselves, like acting on what we believe in, whether someone sees it or not, And that really points to what we call intrinsic motivation, like that drive inside us to do something just because it feels good or it feels right.
Yeah, and it's like it's satisfying to do it, And that makes me think about this quote from Tony Hawk. He said, I feel like skateboarding is as much of a sport as a lifestyle and an art form. So there's so much that transcends in terms of music, fashion, and entertainment.
Is that true?
And you think about all the practice they do, like hours and hours, often alone, all the falls, what's driving them? If it isn't always like fame or money.
That's a good point. Like what keeps them going?
Yeah.
It's a really interesting parallel you brought up there.
Yeah.
Could it be that the dedication in skateboarding, like
Yeah.
what you did, cleaning up that mess,
Mm-hmm.
is also fueled by this like intrinsic motivation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the skater isn't always performing for a crowd,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're out there pushing themselves, trying new tricks, expressing their own style.
Right. It's about them and the board.
Yeah, it's like this deep personal satisfaction they get from pushing their own boundaries and engaging with skateboarding, on a personal level.
So it seems like in both cases, in your quiet act of service and in the intense dedication of a skateboarder, the reward is like internal.
Right.
It's like this desire to contribute, to express themselves, to do something meaningful, even if no one's watching.
And it's almost like you're vouchsafing a part of yourself to the activity itself that's fascinating.
Yeah, like the value comes from the act itself, not from what other people say.
Exactly. The act of creating something, whether it's like a clean space or nailing a difficult trick or even just, being kind to someone, it has its own value, like built in, you know what I mean?
So let's bring it all back. We started with this word vouchsafe, this idea of giving freely. And then we looked at your experience with secret kindness, which was driven by this like inner satisfaction and a desire to help. And then we see something similar in Tony Hawk's words about skateboarding.
Right. And I think the takeaway here is that this internal compass, this desire to contribute and express yourself without needing applause, that can be like a super powerful motivator in ways we might not even realize.
Yeah, like it's always there inside us.
Exactly.
Makes you think about all the unseen acts of kindness happening every day, right?
Yeah, it really does.
Like, how would it change our view of the world if we just acknowledged that these acts are happening all around us all the time?
That's something to think about.
It really is. Well, thank you for taking this deep dive with us today.
My pleasure.
It was great having you.
Thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening out there, keep an eye out for those little acts of kindness. You never know where you might find them.
Have a good one.
See, yeah.